Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing this tag called Firsts, and we already talk about like your first experiences and stuff like that. And I just wanted to do it because it looked really fun, and I know it's not really related to my other videos, but I am going to actually be focusing on expanding my YouTube channel and marketing and things like that, as well as making a few more videos that probably won't all be academic content just because those take me a lot of time and research. So yeah, I can't really like do more than one of those a week. So you might see more videos like this. But anyway, let us get right into the tag. Your first tweet. I actually tried to look for this and I couldn't find it because I've tweeted over 1,700 times. And like to go through each page of like 10 tweets, like for 1,700, so it's like 170 times. That would take me probably half an hour. So I'm not going to do that. So I don't know. First YouTube video. Well, I had a YouTube channel before this called I Am So In, and you can look it up if you want. Everything is still up. And it was like kind of a really bad social issues channel. It was like a pre version of this. Like, you know, this channel, it was like the worst kindergarten version. This is like the college grad version. So basically, I made a video based off this picture on Facebook that said that the money Kim Kardashian spent on champagne for her wedding could have fed like 300,000 starving children or something. And I just kind of talked about that and classism and things like that. Reverse Facebook Republic, I also don't know that either because I actually think I deleted it. I'm thinking back because my parents didn't used to let me on Facebook and there was a whole bunch of drama with that. And that's why my Facebook name actually isn't my real name. And yeah, so I don't know that either. Sorry. Do you still talk to your first love? I do not. Last time I talked to him was 4 months ago, and we kind of cut it off for good. So I really don't think I'll ever talk to him again. What was your first alcoholic drink? This was in Mexico. I was on vacation with my family when I was 14 in Cancun. And in Mexico, they don't really care if you drink, and no one can even speak English that really works at the resort anyway. And you wear like these wristbands like that have colors for your ages, but they weren't related to drinking because the drinking age in Mexico is like 16, and like they had one for ages, I think one for people under 18 and then under 21 and then over 21. It was really weird. They weren't related to the drinking age though. So you couldn't like look at it and see if someone could drink. And so I got well, my parents thought I got like virgin pina coladas, and I was just like getting regular ones. And I only did that a couple times, and actually I could like feel the alcohol, and it was really weird. I'm actually very sensitive to alcohol. What was your first job? I don't know. It depends how you find job. If you find like a job where like you go into work, you have a shift schedule, that would be TJ Maxx, which I worked from like November to January of this year. I am just not a job person, guys. I'll just admit it firsthand. I am like so opposed to menial labor. It's kind of actually embarrassing. And I've made money though doing like activism stuff and social justice work and stuff like that. And my big goal is like to make money on YouTube. Like that would be incredible. If I could even make like $50, I would be so happy. Okay, first person you subscribed to on YouTube, that would be Lacey Green when she was Go Green 18. She made atheism videos, and at that time I was questioning the church, and I eventually left the church. I was a Lutheran. Your first car, I have never had a car. I don't drive, so none. Who is the first person you thought of this morning? I don't remember. I was actually looking at this question and trying to think. I don't know. I thought about like my boss at Everyday Feminism, which is where I'm interning now, but I don't remember. Who was your first grade teacher? That would be Mrs. Ryder. I went to a religious school, and she was really great, and she was really great with kids. I don't know. I was going through a really hard time at that point. My parents were getting divorced, and I was living with my grandparents for the beginning of that year, and it was just like a really hard time for me, and I remember. And I was like a little bit antisocial and just kind of closed off. Where did you go on your first ride on an airplane? That would be Disney World when I was 3. So I don't really remember it, but I know that I did. Um, who was your first best friend, and do you still talk? My first best friend was Casey, and she was my friend from ages 3 to 5, and then my parents broke up and we moved. So no, that we stopped talking at that point. You know, 5-year-olds nowadays, 5-year-olds have cell phones, but when I was 5, 5-year-olds didn't have cell phones. So you know, there wasn't really a way for us to talk. So we just never really, we saw each other one other time when we were in like 7th grade, but other than that, no, I haven't seen her or talked to her. Where where was your first sleepover? I don't know. I don't remember my very first sleepover. Like, I don't really remember it. What was the first thing you did this morning? I downloaded the latest issue of Star Magazine and read it in bed. What was the first concert you went to? I went to a Clay Aiken concert. Actually, it was kind of funny. It was with my birth mom because I'm adopted, but I see my birth mom every once in a while, and it was a visit, and my mom was there, and I remember being scared that it was like gonna blow my ears out. Like it was gonna be so loud. It was a Clay Aiken, like second place American Idol winner. I had a huge crush on him. He was like my boy band crush, even though he's gay, which is kind of ironic actually. And I was really into him when I was like 8. I was really young. First broken bone. I've actually never broken a bone. Never. I'm like, now I'm gonna break one. Watch. But as of now, nope. First piercing, my ears, but as you can see, they're not there anymore because actually I got my ears pierced about 4 different times using like all different kinds of metal. Like one time was gold, one was silver, one was platinum. Like I got every kind of earring you can get. And the last time I got them pierced, I always had to take them out because they got really infected. And the last time I got them pierced, one of my ears like got so swollen that the back of my earring literally got stuck inside of my earlobe. So they had to like go in and take it out. And then they discovered, oh, I'm allergic to metal when it's in my bloodstream. So I can touch metal. Like I can touch anything that's metal. It's not like I can't touch it, but it's in my bloodstream. So like, for example, like tattoo ink that has some metal in it, I couldn't ever do that because like metal when it's in my bloodstream, that's an issue for me. So it's kind of a weird allergy. First foreign country you've gone to, that would be Canada. I went with my grandparents and my mom when I was like 5. We went to Niagara Falls. And you didn't need a passport at that point. First movie you remember seeing? Oh, I don't know. I don't even remember the first movie that I saw. I remember Monsters Inc. I don't think that was the first movie I ever saw, but because I was like so scared and I had nightmares from it. I was like 4 or 5. I don't think that's the first movie I ever saw, but that's the one I guess I can first remember. When was your first detention? That was when, well, I don't know. It depends on your definition of detention, because when I was in middle school, I was like going through this like rebellious phase, and I went to a religious school. So they didn't really have like a formal structure of discipline in place like most schools do. Most schools will have like a discipline policy or whatever, or hold official detentions. My school literally was like 15 kids in each grade. Like that's not like literally. And so they just didn't have that structure. So each teacher kind of like made their own rules. So my math and history teacher, I was just like kind of the class clown. I always like just kind of talked and acted out and stuff, but there was some guys in my class that did it, but they always came down harder on me, and that's a whole sexism issue, and like that's a whole other video. But basically, I got in trouble a bunch of times, and I'd have to stay and not go to lunch and recess with all my classmates, and I'd have to stay and write sentences of what I did wrong. Like, I will not talk out of turn, and I'd have to write that like 100 times. I don't know what that was supposed to teach me, but yeah, that was, I guess, like, that wasn't real detention, though. My first real detention was when I was in high school as a sophomore, and I ended up skipping biology to do homework. I know that's like, wow, you skipped to do homework. Yes, and I stayed in the library, and I was so dumb because, hello, if you skip school, you're supposed to, like, leave so they don't find you. And actually, like, my counselor found me. I don't know why they were, well, I went to such an uppity school. People didn't really skip, so, you know, they could, like, go look for people, I guess, or I don't know. And I was like, I'm literally doing homework. And it was 2 periods, and I got like Saturday school. I got like in so much trouble for that. It was ridiculous. And I was like, fuck it, I don't care. My parents were like so mad. I was like, what's the big deal? Like, seriously, what does it really matter? I don't know. It's kind of funny to think about it, but it's like, what, like, if I do it, like, I don't really care. And I just sat there and read the whole time. I love to read. So I was like, this is not a punishment. Like, seriously, this is awesome. But no, I never got another detention after that, in case you want to know. Who was your first roommate? I have never had a roommate because I live at home. And I'm actually going to be living in a single when I go to college in a month and a half. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I hopefully will never have a roommate because I'm just not a roommate type of person. If you had one wish, what would it be? Oh my God, I don't know. Wow. It'd probably be something like global, like having world peace. Like probably that, because that would end everything that's bad, right? Right? Yeah. So probably world peace, which would mean peace for myself too. So there you go. What was the first sport you were involved in? The first sport I was involved in would be swimming. I was on my swim team. I actually live in a really big development, like in the suburbs, and we have a swim team because our development is that big that we can do that. So I was on the swim team for like 4 or 5 years. I was horrible. I never won a race. I never won a race in all of those years. I was horrible, but everyone was so nice to me and made me feel good, and I loved doing swim team. So yeah, it wasn't a bad experience. I was just sucked at it, but it's a neighborhood swim team. It's like it wasn't competitive or anything. You know, no one's gonna like get at you because you suck. So yeah. What is the first thing you do when you get home? Actually, usually it'll be like change into like pajamas. Like I'm wearing pajama pants right now. I don't see the point of staying in like normal people clothes at home. Like why not just be comfortable, you know? Oh, I'm sorry, I just read that. When was your first kiss? It was not that long ago. I was 17. I was in New York City at this youth conference, and we all like were staying in dorm rooms, and so we met in someone's dorm room and like stayed there till like 4 in the morning on the last night we were there, and somehow it turned into spin the bottle. I don't know. And yeah, that was like spin the bottle. Oh my God, I just like can't even believe that's the story. It's such a bad story. It's like, yeah. But the adults never found out about it or anything, but I just thought it was so awkward then. Like, oh my God, I kissed like half these people. It was just really weird. But yeah, that's this video, guys. So I don't know, tell me if you want to see more videos like this or any other videos you want to see or any other comments about me or my videos or my life. Yeah. So I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.